All right, bye weeks are over with. NFL season coming down to the nitty gritty. Let's just jump right into it. Last week I went 10-4. I now sit at 142-65 on the season. Hopefully I can get to 180. I think at this point that's my goal for the season. But let's just jump into it. Starting off with Thursday Night Football, we've got the Atlanta Falcons taking on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Atlanta Falcons, they're not a good team. They're not a good team. They're just waiting for the end of the season where I guess Falcon fans are hoping that Raheem Morris gets canned, along with maybe a few others. And at this point, you don't have anything to look forward to. You can't see if Penix is the guy after he was knocked out for the season a couple weeks back. You're just hoping for it all to end. As for the Buccaneers, a rough loss last week against the Saints. Baker Mayfield has simply not been the same as he was at the start of the season. And I think it is something a lot more than just Baker Mayfield not playing as well. I think it is a core issue. I don't know if I've really said it on here, but I know I've definitely said it to, people in my circle. I was never a big fan of Todd Bowles as a head coach. I remember his Jets stint, and it was not good. And so I wasn't a big fan of Todd Bowles then, didn't like the hire at the time, and I don't like it now. And so I think if Tampa Bay finds a way to miss the playoffs, I think he's definitely getting canned, and I think there's still a chance, regardless, he might get canned. But right now, as it stands, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still in the playoffs. They still lead that division by half a game. And, we'll see what Tampa can do. I am going to pick them to win this game. I know they still have injuries. I wouldn't expect Mike Evans to be back for this game. I would expect that to be a next week thing after he has more time to recover. But yeah, I'm going to take the Buccaneers. I think this is a team that can run the ball effectively, and I think Baker Mayfield can still air it out when he needs to. So give me the Buccaneers here, and I think that Tampa Bay is going to be able to run away with this. Moving along, we've got the Cleveland Browns taking on the Chicago Bears. The Cleveland Browns, they lost last week to the Titans. It's something I didn't think was possible, but I guess leave it to the Browns to lose to the worst team in the league, I guess. Yeah, the Cleveland Browns, Shedeur Sanders, he's looked great, man. Especially last week, he looked great. Now, he's going up against a tougher opponent in the Bears, so we'll see how the Bears react to him. As for the Bears, that was a brutal loss against Green Bay. Caleb Williams kept you in that game. He was making some great throws, and then right at the end, he made his worst throw of the day at the worst possible time. Throw right to Keyshawn Nixon for the game-sealing interception. And so the Bears, they're looking to get revenge. And so I do think that the Bears are going to be able to beat the Browns here. And I think they're going to get at least 2 sacks. They're going to get at least 2 sacks on Shedeur. And I just think that this is a game that the Bears should dominate. I don't think it'll be super high scoring. I could see this being like a 20-10 type of game. But we'll see. Moving along, we've got the Baltimore Ravens taking on the Cincinnati Bengals. A matchup we saw very recently where the Bengals walked into Baltimore with Joe Burrow back at the helm, and they ended up getting the win by multiple scores. And the Ravens' offense has not looked good. They didn't look great against the Steelers. Lamar Jackson has not been himself ever since he came back from that injury. And it's panic time in Baltimore, if you ask me. I think it's panic time. And the thing with the Ravens is their offensive line has problems. Daniel Falele is not good. Andrew Voorhees is not good. The only thing working on that offense really is Derrick Henry, and even then, they can't really use him when they're trailing for a lot of the game. So, yeah, I do think that Cincinnati definitely has a chance here. Of course, we saw them play last week against the Bills, and that was a close game. Came down to the wire. Really? Kind of. Not really. Bengals scored a lot of points. That's my point. my point. Jeez. They scored a lot of points. Defense let them down, despite Burrow throwing those 2 picks. That was really game-changing. I am going to go with the Ravens to get their revenge here. I think this is a defense where the offense can get right. Of course, I thought that a couple weeks ago, and that didn't exactly happen. But I do think that the Ravens are going to be more prepared for this game, and I do think that Derrick Henry is going to get going, and I think the Ravens should be able to get a win here. Moving along, we've got the LA Chargers taking on the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chargers got a really nice win on Monday Night Football. Ugly or not, a win is a win in this league. You don't apologize for a win. And so, hey, Marion Hampton came back. He scored a touchdown. And even Kamani Vidal, the guy who was taking his spot, he looked pretty decent, had a pretty good catch anyways for 60 yards. And, the Chargers, they look good right now, man. As for the Chiefs, it's panic time. It's time to hit the panic button for the Chiefs. The offense looked absolutely abysmal on Sunday Night Football against the Texans defense. Now, credit to the Texans defense, of course, but it's panic time for Kansas City. I am going to go with the Chiefs to win this game, and the same logic I've gone with before earlier in this season. This is the kind of game the Chargers would lose. They come off of a really nice win. They beat the Super Bowl champions just last week in their own building. Well, in SoFi Stadium, I mean. And it's the kind of game the Chargers lose. It's not going to make any sense. The Chiefs are probably going to win this by a field goal. But I am going to take the Chiefs here in this one. Do I feel good about it? No, I don't. I really don't. But I am going to go with the Chiefs. Moving on, we've got the Buffalo Bills taking on the New England Patriots here. The Buffalo Bills, they came off of a really nice win against the Bungles, man. Their offense is humming, and that's really all you can ask for. As long as Josh Allen is playing up to his standard, the Bills are going to be in every single game. As for the defense, a bit left to be desired. Now, the Patriots, coming off of their bye week, lead this division by 2.5 games right now. Bills looking to close that gap. Patriots looking to... I guess it would come close. I wouldn't clinch the division, or would it? I don't know. Regardless, Patriots are looking to solidify their spot in the playoffs. They are a winning-in situation this week. And so, we'll see what the Patriots can do. I'm going to go with the Bills here. And I'm going with the Bills because I trust their running game a bit more. Henderson has been good. He's mainly been the pass catcher in that offense. But in terms of just overall running, I trust the Bills to keep the Patriots offense off the field more than I trust the Patriots to keep the Bills offense off the field. And I think as a result of that, the Patriots defense is going to get tired, and I think the Bills are going to be able to win this game. I don't feel good about it. I really, really don't. But I'm going with the Bills. Take it or leave it. Next up, we have the Washington Commanders taking on the New York Giants. And I don't know what to feel about this game. I'm going to pick the Commanders, first and foremost. I'm not going to waste your time. But I'm picking the Commanders just because I really do not trust the Giants. And even though I know Jaden Daniels is banged up, we'll see if he plays. Even if he doesn't, I trust Marcus Mariota. He has looked good enough in that offense to where I think that he could remain the starter for the rest of the year if Jaden Daniels isn't healthy enough. And I think Washington might be able to put up points. Now, with that being said, on the other side of the spectrum, you have the Giants. They're 2-11. They're terrible. Everything is bad. Jackson Dart, you're just hoping you see flashes from him for the rest of the season. And also, a quick shout out to Mike Kafka. I don't think he's been that bad of an interim head coach, at least so far, if you ask me anyways. But I am going to go with the Commanders here, just because I really do not trust the Giants. Moving on, we've got the Vegas Raiders taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. The Raiders, they're they're not a good team. They are not a good team. I know it seems like they kept it close against the Broncos. That final score is a lot closer than the actual game was. So, I I I don't know what to say about the Raiders. Ashton Jeanty has not been getting anything going lately, whether that's his fault or not. He just simply has not been the running back I think a lot of people were expecting him to be this season. As for the Eagles, Jalen Hurts had a rough game, man. He had a rough game. 5 turnovers, 2 of them coming on one play. It was a rough game for Jalen Hurts. However, luckily for the Eagles, they get to play the Raiders this week. So it should be a get-right game for them. And I do like the Eagles in this game. I think they're going to be able to run the ball effectively. And I do think that A.J. Brown is going to get a touchdown. You know what? Bold prediction of the week. Both A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith each get a receiving touchdown. That's my bold prediction. But yeah, I don't think this game should be close, but with how poorly the Eagles have played as of late, it very well might be. I think that this is a team the Raiders can run on, and so I wouldn't be surprised if this is closer than it should be. But I am going to stick with the Eagles. Moving on, give me the Jets versus the Jaguars. I'm going to take the Jaguars in this game. Tyrod Taylor, who knows where his health is at? Justin Fields, who knows where his health is at? Brady Cook, I don't think he's the answer either over there. We're going to see who starts for the Jets. I have no idea right now. I've heard nothing. For context, I'm recording this Wednesday morning. So I'm going to go with the Jaguars. They got a really nice win against the Colts last week. ETN was able to get things going. And really, the Jets' only hope of getting anything going at all is to hope that Breece Hall can go for over 100 yards total and score a touchdown. That's really the Jets' only hope ever. So for that reason, I think the Jaguars' defense, I don't think it's been getting enough credit. I think that is a good unit over there. Maybe a bit inconsistent, but I do think it is a good unit. And so I am going to go with the Jaguars to win this game. And I don't think it should be particularly close. Moving along, we've got the Arizona Cardinals taking on the Houston Texans. Cardinals. Rough season. Rough game against the Rams. You got absolutely creased. Jacoby Brissett, I mean, they're fun to watch. I'll give him that. The Cardinals are fun to watch. They don't win often, but they're fun to watch. As for the Texans, that defense is absolutely suffocating, and it is impressive to watch. At the start of the season, when they were 0-3, I never gave up on this team, and it was because of that defense. No, I never really gave up hope on that team. And now they're sitting at 8-5. They've won 8 of their last 10 games. And they just look like a darn good team right now. Now, I'm obviously going to go with the Texans here. However, I think the Cardinals are going to be able to put up points. I think this is going to be a close game. I'm going to go 23-20. Texans win. And I do think it's going to be close. But I don't think the Cardinals are going to win. Next up, we've got one of the potential games of the week here. We've got Green Bay Packers taking on the Denver Broncos. Green Bay Packers, they got a nice win against the Bears. They kind of dominated that first half, and then the Bears started to figure things out a bit in the second half. Packers were able to get the win, though, at the end of the day. Josh Jacobs with the game-sealing touchdown. As for the Broncos, they beat the Raiders, and that's all you can ask for. You're winning games. It may not always be the prettiest, but that defense is ferocious, and it is winning them games right now. although this defense is going to have a tough test against this Packers offense, Jordan Love has been really great recently. Josh Jacobs is running well. And the Packers, although they don't have a true number one receiver, if you will, they have a bunch of guys that are all, as a collective, pretty good. So you don't know which guy to really cover. And so for that reason, I'm going to go with the Packers. I don't mean to sound like a Denver Broncos hater. I promise I'm not. I'm really not. I do think that this team genuinely has a good chance of going to the championship game. I really do believe that from the Broncos. But against this Packers team, which is white hot right now, Jordan Love is white hot, I'm going to have to go with the Packers. Moving on, we've got another potential game of the week here. We've got the Detroit Lions taking on the LA Rams. With the Lions, I think they're a good team. They are very inconsistent on offense, though. The Lions, of course, beat the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. That's great. That's great. Put up a lot of points in the process. Amon-Ra St. Brown, he was able to go in that game. And Jahmyr Gibbs, he has a chance to be really good. Again, not surprising. As for the Rams, Matt Stafford, he had a great day once again. I feel like a broken record saying that nearly every week. Kyren Williams, he's effective. Devontae Adams, effective. Puka Nacua, effective. That defense, suffocating. The Rams are just such a well-balanced team, and there aren't really any weaknesses on that team. At least major weaknesses. However, I'm going to go with the Lions, and I'm going with the Lions because they know they need to win this game, and I think that they're going to be able to. The Lions are a good team. I firmly believe that. Dan Campbell is a good coach, and the guys in that locker room, they trust him. They trust his vision, and I'm going to go with the Lions. It'll be one heck of a game. It's going to go into overtime. Lions win. We'll say 32-23. All right, apologies for the abrupt cut. I had to go clean up my cat's vomit because, don't want that smell lingering. Anyways, moving along, we've got Carolina Panthers taking on the New Orleans Saints. I think the Panthers are a better team than most people are giving them credit for. Are they a perfect team? No. But they're finding ways to win these games, and so you gotta give them credit for that. The Panthers, they're 7-6. They're tied with the Buccaneers, man, and they're just now coming off their bye week, so they're going to be well rested for the rest of the season, hopefully. And they're going to need to be because they still play the Buccaneers twice. The Panthers, I think, are a better team than a lot of people are giving them credit for. As for the Saints, you beat the Bucs. You can't be mad at that. You can't be mad at beating a division rival. Even if it hurts your draft pick, you can't be mad at it. So shout out to you, Saints. And you've beaten all three of them this year. All three of your wins have come against divisional rivals. So hey, shout out to you. I do think the Panthers should be able to win this game, though. Especially, coming off the bye week. If they can get the running game going, I think that's going to help them even more. So I'm going to go with the Panthers. Panthers, do not let me down here. Next up, we've got the Tennessee Titans taking on the San Francisco 49ers, and I'm not going to waste your time. I know the Titans, they got a win last week, and that's great for them. Helps the morale of that team at least a little bit, helps the rookies in there. But this is, I fear, going to be a bloodbath. This is, unfortunately for the Titans, going to be a bloodbath. I mean, the Niners, they're unbelievably good right now, and although they're hurt, they're still finding ways to win these games. So I am going to go with the 49ers, and I don't think this game is going to be particularly close either. Give me the 49ers. I'm sorry, Titans fans. Moving along, we've got the Indianapolis Colts taking on the Seattle Seahawks. Man, my hair is a mess. The Colts, it hurt. It really sucked watching that, man. I was rooting for Daniel Jones, man. I really was. And it was such a fun storyline. And now he's done for the year, torn Achilles, non-contact injury. It sucks. It really sucks. And now Riley Leonard, the backup, is hurt. Anthony Richardson is still hurt. So, who else do you turn to but 44-year-old Phillip Rivers, potentially? In all seriousness, he's on the practice squad as of right now, the moment I'm recording this. And, I mean, you don't really have another option. The trade deadline passed. I mean, what else are you going to do? I thought maybe they would call a guy like maybe Ryan Tannehill, maybe just run with Riley Leonard for the rest of the season. Who knows? And Riley Leonard, he could still keep the ship afloat. We don't know. We just haven't seen enough of him. As for the Seahawks, they're a really good team. They blew out the Falcons starting in the second half. The first half was a bit slow. But in the second half, they got things going. So I am going to have to go with the Seahawks. And it's just because I don't know what's going on with the quarterback situation over in Indianapolis. But I am going to go with the Seahawks. I think the Seahawks have a really good defense, and I think that they're going to be able to stop Jonathan Taylor because chances are they're going to be selling out for the run anyways. Moving on, we've got Sunday Night Football between the Minnesota Vikings and the Dallas Cowboys. J.J. McCarthy had his best career game. He threw 3 touchdowns, no picks. Although the yardage wasn't quite there, he didn't need to be. The defense did most of the work, and so did the running game. The important thing is that J.J. McCarthy, this is the first game in his career without throwing an interception, and that's a really big boost for him and his confidence. The Vikings, they're probably not going to go anywhere this season, but it is at least encouraging to see J.J. McCarthy seemingly progress. As for the Dallas Cowboys, it was a rough loss on Thursday night. Probably tanked their playoff hopes, realistically. And CeeDee Lamb, of course, is hurt. We'll see if he plays Sunday night with a concussion. I'm very tempted to go with the Vikings here. I really, really am, just because they're the hotter team right now. You know, the one win streak that they have. But I'm going to go with the Cowboys just because even they can still score points. And they've proved that several weeks in a row now that this team can score points. And they're going to be a hard team to beat. So I am going to go with the Cowboys here. And we'll see what happens. Regardless of whether or not CeeDee Lamb plays, I'm going to go with the Cowboys. Last but not least, we've got Monday Night Football. We've got the Miami Dolphins taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers in what is a very important game for both sides. Dolphins looking to get back to 500 for the first time this season. The Steelers looking to take an even bigger lead on the AFC North by winning this game. It's a big game. The Dolphins, who knows if A.J. is going to play? It sounds like he'll be good to go. The Steelers had a couple injuries against the Ravens. Patrick Queen got hurt. DK Metcalf apparently got hurt in that game. We'll see if he's going to be good to go. Regardless, I think that this game is going to go by quick because both teams are going to run the ball a lot. And I think Steelers are going to be able to do an effective job of running the ball. And as a result, I think the Steelers are going to be able to keep that Miami offense off the field. And so I think the Steelers are going to win this game. I think it's just going to be a bunch of running plays and short plays to tight ends, which is usually what the Steelers offense is anyways. But I do think the Steelers should be able to win this game. On top of that, Mike Tomlin, he's usually pretty good on Monday Night Football. For whatever reason, I'm going to go with the Steelers here. Anyways, that's it for this one. It might be a little late, so I apologize. Other than that, don't die and have a great week.